The main content of this video is going to be about the concept of breathing, some practical things you can do with your breath, and most importantly, not breathing through your mouth. Breathing through this guy here, the little snozzer. Most people focus on the wrong things in terms of bettering their health. The main thing I'm talking about is diet. Everyone's like, get on this diet, try this supplement, try this food, only eat this, blah, blah, blah. And I think it has definitely, it has its place, but essentially the body can go weeks without food, days without water, and minutes without air, oxygen. That being said, I believe it's important to be focusing on something that you're going to be doing minute by minute, day by day. Okay, so throughout my years of learning about anxiety, mental health, trying to better myself, was some brief mention about the breath, you know, relax, just do some slow breaths and things like that. And I didn't really give a shit about it, and it didn't really impact me, and I just sort of brushed it off, and I started focusing on other things, you know, like my mind and how I look at things and stuff like that. Then I came back to it, and I discovered a book called Anxiety Free by Mckeown. He's an Irish dude. He talks a lot about asthma. He talks about anxiety, and he also talks about sport performance. He's written 3 books, but the main book I read was called Anxiety Free. Really, really good book. I'll put it in the link below. The main thing he talks about is breathing through your nose and breathing with your diaphragm. They're 2 key things, and I'll show you some exercises in a second. So you learn about the oxygen and CO2 method and how it relates, and you want to build up your CO2 tolerance. And basically you do that by slowing down your breathing, and the longer you can hold your breath for in a calm and relaxed state, the better it is for you. And everyone's focusing on oxygen, like get more oxygen, breathe, just you know, keep it going. But people that are anxious, they overbreathe. The way they'll do this is they'll be breathing through their mouth, and they'll be doing shallow breaths through their chest. So they'll be going, well, you won't even know, you can't even hear it, you're just flipping out in your head, and you're breathing really fast, and that's accelerating the fight or flight response. So when you spend a bit more time focusing on your breath, oh, I'm not breathing through my nose, better back through my nose, and am I breathing with my diaphragm? How long am I breathing for? Longer exhales, things like that. You are focusing on your breath and mindfulness, which is bringing you into the present moment. So it's like a double whammy, a stacking effect, where you're focusing on something that will improve your anxiety, and you will be focusing on mindfulness, which is really, really good for you. So the main benefits I found from doing this was lowered anxiety, number 1, first and foremost. Better energy levels, better sleep, better patience, better resilience against sort of getting sick, to be honest. I felt really, really good, and I felt like my immune system was a lot stronger. And I felt like I could properly relax, which I never could before. I was either wired and energetic or anxious. Like, they were the 2 states. What do you want to be today? Do you want to be wired and energetic, or do you want to be anxious and flipping out? And I'll be altering between the 2. But now I'm discovering this other form of being, which is the rest and digest. Another thing to keep in mind is when you do this style of breathing, you can go through something called a cleansing sort of response. Basically, you feel like you've got the flu. I felt really tired, I've had headaches, I felt my anxiety increased, felt agitated, everything sort of got worse, but then it gets better. It's just like any time you get sick. If you've had the flu before, it's basically like having the flu. And you can go through several phases of that, and it depends how bad your habits are of breathing, plus how aggressive you are with your process of doing it, how often you do it, how strong you do it. That's going to amp up the cleansing effect. All right, now for some practical exercises. First one that I think everyone should start on is just breathing through your nose. Always try to be conscious and get to a state where you're always breathing through your nose. So that's what I first started on. And then I started learning about the diaphragmic breathing. And basically it's this style of breathing where your chest doesn't really move at all. It's just your stomach. And I like to think of it as like two hands sort of pushing on the bottom of my lungs, diaphragm, and it's just sort of pushing down on your stomach a bit. And you can feel it. So you'll feel the stomach expand, and then when you breathe out, you'll feel your stomach retract. But chest breathing, you can feel literally your chest raising, right? And you don't want to do that. You want to keep it in your diaphragm all the time, okay? So they're the two things, nose breathing and diaphragm breathing, okay? And then when you are doing meditation or yoga or trying to relax, try to do 4 seconds in, so then 8 seconds out. And do that, just repeat that. So 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. And another thing you can apply after that is a retention phase. So think of it as a ratio, 4, 4, 8, right? So 4 seconds in, hold 4 seconds, then release 8 seconds. Right, and I find that's a bit more invigorating. So when you're up in the morning, the retention phase helps with waking you up, getting moving. When you're, sometimes I stretch when I'm in the retention phase, so, and then I'll stretch, just move. If I'm standing up, I'll move my legs a bit more, and then the 8 second release. You don't have to be exact with it, but do your best. Waiting at traffic lights, when it's red, you just think, oh shit, hurry up, go green already. You're rushing, just relax, think about your breathing, take a breath, right? Other little things where you're waiting on stuff, which doesn't need to be that big of a deal, but you're getting all, you know, with our stimulated life, you just like go, go, go. Something like Netflix, when Netflix is loading or the next episode's playing in 13 seconds, try to focus on your breath for a little bit, 2 or 3 breaths. And then you might continue focusing on your breath as you're watching Netflix. You're perfectly able to watch Netflix and focus on your breathing. And in fact, it's probably better if you do. Other things like, you know, video games, any other sort of things like loading something or the internet page isn't loading, just think, oh, something's loading, I'm waiting, there's my breath. So I always think when I'm waiting for something, I'll focus on my breath. Because I'm going to be sitting there anyway, right? So might as well focus on something that's beneficial. Another one is when you're rushing. Sometimes when I'm just like trying to grab heaps of things or do something really quick, or I'm just got like, you know, I'm trying to do like 5 things at once basically. I think I'm rushing a bit here, take a breath. And it's really, really good just to ground yourself and work out where you are. This is what you're dealing with. You can do those 4 other things in a second. Just do this thing now. So it recenters you and it's really good. So one breath. Diaphragmic breath through the nose. One of the best things about doing this is, as you know, you can unconsciously breathe. You don't have to think about it. So when you focus on improving your breathing pattern, and then you go back to unconscious breathing, that breathing pattern will be working for you instead of against you. So you won't be mouth breathing, shallow chest breathing, which is amping up your anxiety. You'll be doing things to keep you balanced and centered without even working for it. So that's amazing. I think that's such a good thing. I didn't even think about it. I was just sort of like, yeah, this is great. Like, I love the feeling of my breath, and, you know, it's making me feel amazing. And I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this without even thinking about it. So then I can focus on other things that are going to improve me. This is just like the little automatic system that you're working on. So it's awesome to really improve, and I think it's a great thing to work on to help with your well-being and your mental health. So thanks for watching, and I hope you like the video. Cheers.